Historic note: in 1607 the London Company in England sent an expedition to the Americas under the leadership of Captain Christopher Newport. The purpose was to settle there in the hopes of finding goods and materials, and maybe even gold, to send back to England. On a warm spring day, the settlers landed on the Virginia coast, then sailed about 30 miles up the James River to the site of their new settlement, the first permanent one in the New World. Here hung the flag of England. They hoped that by being far enough inland, they might be safe from the mutilers and pirates who had been attacking other colonies. Arriving at Jamestown. This plan might have been a good one, but several things went very wrong. First, the land that they chose was poor from settling. It was in a wet marsh, full of mosquitoes that spread diseases. Second, the land was inhabited by the Indians, who were weary of such strange visitors. But there were other problems too, problems that the settlers brought with them from England. Some of the men who came on board the ship were lazy and expected others to do their work. They did not know how to work hard. In addition, they had brought the wrong things: clothing that was too hot for this climate, food that spoiled. Some of the evangelism in England told how exciting life in the America would be. Settlers came thinking that they were headed for great adventure. Instead, they found hard times, hunger, disease, and trouble. Relations with the Indians were unstable at times, and matters amongst the settlers also became tense. Eventually, a young colonist named John Smith took control of the colony and brought some order to it. First, he made rules for the men there. One was, if you do not work, you do not eat. Then he worked at creating friendly working relations with the Indian. He befriended Pocahontas, the daughter of the Indian chief Powhatan. The men traded with the Indians for food and necessity supplies that Indians taught the colonists how to plant corn and how to fish, and how to make canoes out of hollowed-out logs. One of these things helped the colonists to survive and even thieves for a while. When women and children came with more settlers in 1609, things were quiet at first, but soon there were more problems, mainly brought on by overcrowding and hunger. As the fort swelled with the newcomers, also the colonists and the Indians had become reckless in their relations with one another. Many people were killed in hostile, angry skulfers. Then in the then in the fall of 1609, when Captain Smith was injured and had to return to England, things in the colony became much worse very quickly. Disease, discontent, and revolty spread amongst the colonists. It was known as the starving time, as hunger was their content companion. The very starvation of the colony was in doubt. When the next supply ship returned the following spring, only a few colonists were there to greet them. The rest had died of starvation or diseases. However, the arrival of those ships brought much needed food and supplies, and many new people. The colonists again began to thrive, and soon Jamestown was named the first capital of Virginia.